Hi everyone, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? You guys, this was not my doing at all. But earlier this week, God, like I was just minding my own business, like literally minding my own business. And like it was like God like tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Do not Facebook, do an Instagram live for the February LSAT." I'm like pray, and I'm like, me? Like you want me to do a February LSAT prayer on Instagram Live? Like no one is doing that. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, ugh. Like knowing I have to be obedient and do like, when you get like thoughts like that in your mind, like, that's not like you when it's something you typically wouldn't do, right? And it's like, okay, that's nothing but God telling me to do it. So let me just, put my little nerves to the side and just go ahead and do it. Like I don't mind doing lives and things like that. But praying live, that's like a whole nother like thing that I don't feel like you have y'all seen that on Instagram Live often? Like I haven't. So but I strongly believe in prayer. I strongly believe in the power of God, regardless of what your faith may be. I strongly believe that there is something above this earth that is covering and protecting us. And I strongly believe that if you can go into this test with the right mindset, that can like instantly like boost your score just a few points just by having that right mindset. I strongly believe in positivity and just good energy and good vibrations and um, on being confident, like not being cocky, but just being confident that God is like with you. Like he got y'all to test day, right? Like he got y'all to test day, like so many other people wish they were taking the LSAT and for some reasons they may not be able to. But the fact that y'all got to test day is like a blessing in itself. Like you're one step ahead than a lot of people who are just scared to sign up for the LSAT. So you guys should all, regardless of how you feel about the February LSAT, you guys should like pat yourself on the back just for taking this step, because so many people are not willing to just sit for the test. So, we're definitely going to pray over everyone today. Got the face mask and I'm still going to kill the test. I hear that. Yes, take y'all face mask. Someone was saying, they have the flu and they're taking the test tomorrow. She gonna have that face mask on. She gonna walk out that thing with 180 LSAT score. Listen, I know you can push through when you're sick. Sometimes when I'm sick, that's when I work the hardest because I know I'm sick. So it's like I know I have to work just a little bit harder. You never know. Like being sick, like having the flu, could really be the difference in like a 150 and a 160. Like I'm just saying, like you just never know. Like sometimes we think stuff happens to us and it's like for like a bad reason, but you just never know. Like this may help you. And I mean that probably sounds crazy, but our God is crazy. Like the way our God works is just like you just never know what blessing can come out of whatever you're going through, whether it's the flu or whether you're having car trouble right now, or whether you don't feel 100% prepared or like whatever. Like that's like, and then you take the LSAT and next thing you know, you did a little bit better than you thought you were going to do, and it's like that was nothing but God. And so I definitely send my prayer to you, being that you had the flu and that's very, very serious. But I know like you're gonna be fine. That you're gonna be just fine tomorrow. So I just kind of started rapping a little bit. But for everyone who doesn't know me, I am attorney Jasmine Robinson. I'll have my 2-year bar, my 2-year graduation. Well, what do you call it? My 2-year law school anniversary of graduating, whatever, this May. Class of 2016 from Mercer University School of Law. I went to Hampton University for undergrad from Richmond, Virginia. And I fell in love with helping future lawyers through the law school admissions process. I started my own brand, Jas Hawks Law, as you see on my Instagram name. So I am your law school coach. I guide you guys through the entire law school admissions process. And along with that, as a law school coach, you know, I help you guys with every part of the process. But my focus lately has been like personal statements and your recommendation letters and just, you know, producing the full package. As you guys know, that LSAT is a huge, huge part of that. But at the end of the day, you still have to get a really good application put out there. So you guys feel free to check me out. There's plenty of links and things you can click on my Instagram profile, www.jashawkslaw.com. I just became a self-published author. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. That was that was nothing but God. So you guys feel free to check out my personal statement workbook that just released, and subscribe to our website where you can receive our free law school admissions timeline. And I mean, I have so many things going on. We got a book tour going on right now, so many things. So feel free to check all that out. I just want to make sure I threw that out there. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, you know, the thought of hosting this is totally God's doing. But I just know the power of prayer, and I know that regardless of where you are in life, you know, whether you consider yourself the perfect Christian or the totally imperfect Christian, like God can use you. Like God's grace, God's grace is out of this world. There are so many things that I have, like this, you know, where I am right now, I have 2 feet, 2 hands, you know, like I have a roof over my head, so many things that he could have easily taken away from me for hundreds of different reasons, right? But God's grace is something else. And I say that because I know God's grace is going to cover you guys on tomorrow when you're taking the February LSAT. Just a little bit about my story, my LSAT journey, my law school admissions process. And this is all a part of my bigger testimony. So I come from a family of no lawyers, no lawyers in my family whatsoever. But I always knew I wanted to be a big divorce attorney because of my crazy family. So I went through the law school admissions process and I had absolutely no real guidance. You know, like I said, I don't come from a family of lawyers at all. Does anybody else in the same boat? Like you're the first lawyer or future lawyer in your family? Let me know. But so I had no guidance. I took the LSAT twice. The first time I took it, I did like an online live class and I totally did not study appropriately. Totally did not study appropriately for the LSAT the first time. But, you know, I went into test day thinking like, oh, you know, like I'm pretty smart, you know, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so we'll see what happens. I got my score back. It was a 140, a 140. And I'm like, okay, God, like, what's up with this? You know, like, what is up with this? And then I said, okay, well, maybe I should take the class, like an in-class LSAT prep. And I did that. By the grace of God, I received a scholarship to pay for it. And I was thinking like, okay, I'm in class now, you know, I'm not like doing it at home and folding clothes at the same time. Like I'm in a physical place. I went to every class. Like I'm very good about attendance. So my mama instilled that in me when I was in like, you know, elementary school. But anyways, you know, I was there for every single class. But when I went home, I wasn't studying appropriately. I wasn't doing, you know, everything that I was supposed to do once I got home, you know, with the practice exams and the homework and all of that. So, you know, I took the second LSAT, positive vibe, good energy, you know, all that good stuff. And my mama prayed over the phone before I went into the test. And I got my score back and it was a 144. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what in the world, you know? Like, God, like, I thought you had me. I thought you had my back, you know? And, you know, looking back, if I had a law school coach, I would have did so much better. So I'm so happy that I am a resource for everyone out there like me now. And for a moment, I was like really down. Like I was like, okay. Like I've always wanted to go to law school. Like always wanted to go to law school. And long story short, Mercer University School of Law, which is a pretty decent law school, still gave me an opportunity and I still got a partial scholarship. Like, look at God. Like, And the crazy thing is, I posted about this on my Instagram like a few days ago. And when I posted about it, someone DM'd me and said, "How did you go to law school with a 144?" Like they DM'd me or whatever. And well, no, she said, "How did you become an attorney with a 144 LSAT?" And I didn't know if she meant it like, in kind of like a shady way or not. But either way, I'm like, girl, you don't know the power of my God. Obviously, like you don't know. Like my whole life has been pretty much like a 144 LSAT, but I still got into law school. Like from the moment I was in high school and I said I wanted to go to Hampton University, there were so many moments where like it was like I had a 144 LSAT, but God still let me into law school. For example, I remember my second year at Hampton, there was a situation where I needed like money for my books. And I called my dad just to ask if he would help me pay for the books. And he and my mom, they had just divorced. They were going through some stuff. And he kind of like got really upset with me and just told me, he wasn't doing anything for me, to ask my mother, blah, blah, blah. And I was just so confused. Like I started crying. Like it was just like, I just want book money. Like I have nothing to do with you and my mom have going on. But long story short, I ended up getting a book scholarship. He just made a way. Like, like even though I'm like totally past that situation, I remember that as a moment where it was like, okay, I got this 144 LSAT, but God still made a way and got me into law school. Like obviously I'm using it as a, kind of as like a metaphor. Another time, so I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I come from very humble beginnings. People look at me and think like I come from like this like super rich background. No. Like my mama and them, they be struggling to pay they rent some months, okay? And at Hampton, one of the reasons I fell in love with Hampton is because there's so many rich Black people. Like I never saw anything like that in my life, but I really wanted to go there because of that. I'm like, okay, these Black people are a little different than Southside Richmond. So I really wanted to be there because I knew that was something I needed to be exposed to see, a different outlook on what, Black people can have. But going to Hampton, there was always like this idea of like feeling like I had to keep up, even though my mama ain't have it like that to just, do this and do that. For example, your second year at Hampton or third year is when you get an apartment. And to make a long story short, I don't want to, keep rambling, but to make a long story short, I didn't have a mom to co-sign for an apartment at Hampton or to help me get a car or do all these things. Like I had a little hoopty and that thing broke down like every other week, okay? But the point that I want to make here is that I ended up finding an apartment in Hampton, me and my roommate. The apartment only cost us $700 a month. And that included all of our utilities. That included cable. Like that included everything. So we were literally paying $350 a month. And that was because of my big sister at Hampton. She lived there before me. So she ended up telling me about it. And our landlord was the cutest, like old head Q. Like he was like a blessing. Like he literally only charged us $350 each. And I'm like, okay, I can work that out. Like I had me a little Old Navy job. And it's like, you would have never known that like, I didn't have it like that. Like I felt like my whole time at Hampton, you would have never known my humble beginnings. Like, but that's just another example of like, God will make a way out of no way. He made a way out of no way with my LSAT score. I'm an attorney now. Like doing things that I love, helping you guys through the law school admissions process. And